Hey y'all, this is Kobe R. Rice, and I'm back after about a month of being away. And I'm having some slight, really weird technical difficulties. Like my words are coming out, but my mouth doesn't quite keep up with the words. So I hope that doesn't throw you guys off so much. But in any case, I am back finally and here to stay, at least until the end of the summer, with regard to posting these updates more regularly, maybe twice a week instead of once a week. We'll see what happens. But oh gosh, what has been happening? So, the first major thing is that graduate school is officially over. At least the semester is over. That ended around May 11th with my final paper. And then, yeah, it actually finished out pretty strong. Then my mom came to visit because I actually have to go into like surgery, which really sucks. But I'm alive, as you can see, and I'm recuperating and I'm doing great. But my mom came into town, visited, hung out with the babe, hung out with me. So that was really fun. So basically, I've been working, but I haven't really had a chance to kind of just sit down and have a private moment with you guys. Also, I was screening with my mom reruns of Game of Thrones because I'm really excited about that coming back out for season 7 this summer in July. And my mom, for whatever reason, for the past almost 6 years has just completely ignored the Game of Thrones series. Not because she wasn't interested, but she just never had time to sit down and watch it. So I just literally made her sit down and watch 6 seasons of it. And it actually, she just loved it. I said, Ma, like, if you haven't watched this series, you're crazy. So she got into it and she was just like hooked. And I literally did not see her for maybe about a quarter of the trip because she was in my room watching that. So anyway, so that was fun and cool. Lots of relaxation stuff. But I just wanted to update you guys on what else has been going on. One major thing that has been happening recently is that I've been getting way more involved. And I guess I was doing this throughout the semester, but now that I have free time, I've been doing a lot of participation in cross promotions and joint giveaways with other authors, which is going fantastically. I'm also, as you guys know, hosting my own giveaway. It's called this Massive Summer Giveaway Blowout. That's officially what it's called, but I'm still searching for a better name for it, but it's almost over, so that's kind of like a futile process. Anyways, so that giveaway itself has 4 prizes: a grand prize, first prize, second, and third prize. And the prizes include an ebook lot, an audiobook lot, 2 Kindle Fire HD tablets, which is amazing, and also an Amazon Echo, which hopefully paired up with the audiobook lot will give our readers a really great opportunity to get a new piece of technology that also helps them to listen to a lot of really awesome, amazing audiobooks. So that's running. It's thus far been very successful. I have discovered that I'm actually quite good at these things. And so, and on top of it, like in terms of networking with other authors, that's been fantastic as well. Just getting to know them, their work, learning the different ways, not just to market, but also to connect with other marketers who can help you with your work and cross promote. So I've learned so much by heading up this giveaway. I've learned about Head Talker, Thunderclap, what else? How to cross promote with those platforms, giveaway directories. I learned a lot more about email lists and marketing and segmentation and stuff like that. So it's just, and how to do a list rollout, how to be compliant with the canned spam laws and all of that. So it's just been a major education for me in terms of being a marketer and a businesswoman alongside of being a creative person as a writer, filmmaker, screenwriter, game designer, etc., etc. So that's been really educational. And as a matter of fact, what emerged from this was not only am I getting many compliments from the authors who are in the giveaway who like the way I'm running it, but I've gotten quite a few offers from authors to pay me for my work. They're minimal fees, but sort of added up can be really, really impactful and helpful. So actually what I've decided to do is that, and this is something I've always wanted to do, but I just never knew how to break into it. I actually started, it's a author book blog slash author giveaways, author services website called New Adult Noir. And so this is not solely for me providing author services to other authors. It's basically a website wherein I blog and review books that are in the new adult genre that specifically fit into like a dark and gritty sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and romance genre. So, and that's my voice, that's my genre, is new adult, gritty, noir, hardcore, high body count, sex scenes, cursing. That's my genre of choice. I love that genre. That's the genre that I write in. So the way I'm going to try to build this new branch of my business is focusing on the dark and gritty aspects of sci-fi and fantasy, horror, and romance, and helping other authors to gain visibility by promoting their free books, promoting their series, doing what I call a series starter promotion, where I promote their first book and I promote the follow-up book in the series. So that's a sequels series starter promotion. But then there's also, like, if an author has like 10 books in a series, I would create a giveaway promotion promoting that author along with other authors who have entire series that you basically would love to jump into. But it presents all of the first in series editions of those authors' novels. So you jump into the first book, if you love it, immediately subscribe so you can get to the next series. So offering services like that. But the biggest service that I'm going to be offering, and it's not just for other authors, it's for myself too, is the mega giveaway. I like to call it coordination service, because putting together giveaways takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of patience, and a lot of organization. And some authors just want to be a part of a giveaway. They don't want to have to manage it, but I love doing that stuff. So there are going to be, in addition to the summer giveaway that I'm finishing up right now for these authors, I'm going to also be doing a back to school blast, which is going to feature YA and new adult novels, focused on basically a back to school theme. I'm going to do a Fright Fest, which is going to focus on obviously horror, paranormal, romance, paranormal fiction, urban fantasy, witches, ghosts, wizards, all that stuff. And then I'm also going to do this major mega Christmas giveaway. It's like literally the most insane giveaway I've ever thought of or heard of thus far. It's called the 25 Days of Box Sets giveaway, and I'm going to be working with, hopefully if they sign up to anywhere between 250 to 375 authors. And basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to create 25, or I'm going to identify rather 25 subgenres in the genres of science fiction, fantasy, urban fantasy, paranormal romance, sci-fi romance, and take those larger genres and break them down into mini subgenres. So for sci-fi, we'll have military science fiction, we'll have cyberpunk science fiction, steampunk, etc. And for each one of those niche subgenres, I'm going to put together basically a 10 to 15 novel box set. So 10 to 15 authors are going to be lumped together in a single box set. They're going to offer full novels from their collections or from their series that all fall under one particular niche. And and each day of December, from the 1st all the way up until Christmas Day, we're going to be revealing one box set of authors per day. And they're all going to be free, absolutely 100% free. And it's a list building giveaway. And so basically you as a reader will have access to literally 25 different box sets in sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal romance, supernatural thriller, totally free, all in exchange for you signing up for our author email lists. And so it's a crazy mega promotion. We're going to also be picking 25 winners on each day of the giveaway to win additional prizes like cash prizes on a gift card, Amazon gift cards, KU subscriptions. For those of you who don't know what KU is, it's Kindle Unlimited. So you get unlimited ebooks and unlimited audiobooks. So we'll be offering KU subscriptions, Kindle Fire tablets, a whole bunch of really amazing things. And so there will be 25 winners that are picked each day, but none of the winners will get their prizes until Christmas Day. So it'll be like a nice Christmas present. And then at the end of the giveaway, also on Christmas, for those people who did not win any of the 25 prizes, they will be offered what I'm calling right now the special edition New Adult Noir Black Sands collection, which is a collection of sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and paranormal romance novels that have a dark and gritty spin to them. It's going to be a very carefully curated and very selective process that I'm going to use to find the right novels to put into this ultimate box set. And so that box set will be available to all the contestants who entered the giveaway, who did not win any of those 25 major prizes. But in order to be eligible for that final Black Sand box set, you have to have shared the giveaway at least 5 times throughout the month. So that's basically just to encourage people to share, to get involved, to get excited. But there are pretty much no losers here. Whether you go into the giveaway and download one box set or you download all the box sets, you're going to have a great time. And even though you'll be subscribed to certain authors' mailing lists, depending on whose box set you decide to download, you can always unsubscribe at any time. So you're not locked into any sort of Faustian relationship with us as authors. But basically, the only way we can really send you the box set is if we have your email anyway. But if you want to get rid of us after we've sent you what you want, that's totally fine too. But then you'll be missing out on future free swag and prizes. But that's on you. That's up to you. So these are the giveaways and the endeavors that I've been working on in a marketing and business sense pretty much throughout April and throughout May. And I'm excited. If you're interested in basically being told about any of these giveaways as a reader, you can sign up for my New Adult Noir list below. You can also enter the current giveaways that we have going on. I'll post those below as well. And then if you're an author looking at this and interested in getting involved as a sponsor or wanting to be a part of any of these giveaways or free promos, I also put an author sign up below as well for you guys. So there's something for everybody here, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited. But in conclusions, in terms of looking at this from an author and businesswoman standpoint, for the Christmas giveaway, for example, the opt-in fee is only $25. So for $25, you get a lot. You get the promotional graphics. I'm handling basically all of the logistics. I'm formatting all of the ebooks in Vellum. I'm commissioning all the book covers and the 3D covers and everything. And pretty much all authors have to do is submit their opt-in fee to cover for promotional costs, submit their manuscript, and then just tell their readers about the giveaway a few times. And that's all they have to do. And at the end of the giveaway, they pretty much have a really amazing niche-specific list of readers who are just super excited to get their stuff. So this is, I think, a really great way to kind of not only build up my own subscriber list, but also be able to reach out and help other authors do the same and build up a really great reader base for people who love new adults, young adult, gritty, dark, just that heart-pounding, chair-gripping fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with warm and fuzzy and sweet and sassy or anything. There's nothing wrong with that. But I really want to develop my networks and my reader base on the dark and gritty side, because that's what I really write as a sci-fi author. When I start to get into the sweet, fluffy, warm and fuzzy stuff, I'm going to actually leave that for my other pen name that I'm working on right now. I'm still working on her branding and her message and what she wants to basically do and talk about as an author. And so she's going to be writing romance, paranormal romance, contemporary romance, and erotica. So that's going to be an entirely separate brand name, author name, completely different website, brand, and channel that unfortunately I can't tell you guys about now because one, she's not ready to debut yet. Secondly, she hasn't really written anything of novel length yet. And thirdly, I don't want my current readership to be cross-pollinated with the erotica readership It's not a problem for me, but in terms of like search engine optimization, I don't want readers getting confused and having my dark, gritty sci-fi books pop up next to like my sweet, happily ever after romance novels, you know? So it just confuses readers on Amazon when they see that. They're just like, what? Like, anyway, so, and it just kills the algorithms. But yeah, so you guys will find out a little bit more about that. At one point, when she's more established and like she has a readership and stuff, I will announce who she is and you guys can choose to kind of go check her out. But she's going to stay under wraps for at least another year, you know, minimum. Anyway, so moving on, because I'm sort of rambling. So that's been the giveaway marketing part, and that's been really educational and really fruitful. By the end of this entire cycle, by the end of June, I will have over 13,000 new readers on my list, which is really amazing. Of course, I have to go through and keep people engaged and give them really great stuff and all of that, but it's just nice to be able to focus on something and have it grow. And as at the beginning of the year, my whole entire mantra was that whatever you focus on will grow. So that has certainly been growing, and I have been growing alongside of it as well. So but I am getting writing done, FYI. So I just wanted to pull up some very specific things that I've been doing. But one big thing that I've been working on that I want to be a focus for this summer is my world building and research. So as I am writing Hollow Point, and I'll talk a little bit more about Hollow Point in just a minute, I am also trying to take time to just frolic and have fun and be free and sort of enter into that godlike status of world creation and world building. So I've delved back into fleshing out more of the world of the books of Ezekiel. I'm continuing my design of all 52 guilds of the civic order and alchemic orders, the judicial and legal system in the alchemic order, the political structure for both orders, the characters, of course, their backstories, their objectives, their ambitions, the magic system, just everything. And it's been really fun. It's kind of slow going because I'm trying to focus on, you know, one thing at a time, day by day. But all those things are happening. The most recent major accomplishment I've achieved is really nailing down a fantastic plot timeline for each of the books in the series, so I can get sort of an overarching understanding of what's happening. And then I'm also actually getting pretty good at marking out each character's arc and journey within each novel, so that I can see what's happening novel by novel, but also look at how they're progressing over the series as a whole. And so making up those adventures and planning out those arcs ahead of time has made my story far more manageable and a lot easier to write. And especially because I'm doing a multiple POV epic urban fantasy slash dystopian sort of novel. And so the world is big, the characters are many, and the adventures are insane. So I just need to make sure that I'm keeping everything together. I'm working on the family tree and lineage of all of the houses of the alchemic order, as well as the family history and biographies. So just not just the tree, but also like what they did in their lives, how they were as people, what sort of important things that they've accomplished, etc., how they've impacted what's going on now in the story, etc., etc. So that's been interesting. I've also been engaging in some world building for my other series, namely the world as a whole for the Hitmen of Happily Ever After, the Godsman series, and the Forever Files. These are 3 series, one of which I've told you guys about extensively, but the other 2 are sort of just kind of hanging out in the ether in my mind here as I'm working on building out that world. And they're all a part of the same world. So me working on the world for those 3 series has been very helpful in terms of not just understanding where the Hitmen of Happily Ever After is going and where it's situated, but it's also helping me to understand the intertwining storylines, because you're going to see characters from each series pop up in other series. So that's going to be kind of fun. So I've been working on the world for that. And then I haven't done world building for the Asylum trilogy or the Sentient trilogy yet, That is probably going to come towards the end of the summer because I just need to focus right now on, not so many things. I got so many things in the air. And I really want to work on those two worlds and do research for that, but then has to sort of be put to the side for the moment. So next thing up, Hollow Point. All right, I just did a final call on my email list for the Hollow Point launch list. Rather, I said that wrong. I did a final call for the Hollow Point VIP beta reader launch team. So if you're interested in getting a beta reader copy of Hollow Point, giving feedback, and then also being one of my early reviewers, I would love to have you on my launch list. I have, oh my goodness, I have over 170 people on my launch list right now, which is literally unheard of. And I'm also just really humbled, honestly. I mean, that's really amazing. Like I just think about like where I am now in terms of like my career and people who know my work versus where I was 3 years ago or even a year ago. It's just really, really great. And just to know that there are almost 200 people waiting for Hollow Point to come out and who want to be the first people to get that book and to review it is really awesome. So in addition to getting a free beta reader copy of Hollow Point, you would also get a finished copy of Hollow Point, and then you're also then eligible for book launch prizes. So we have gift cards, we have just little reader-based prizes that like really ravenous readers would love. So if you're interested in that, jump on the Hollow Point launch team below. Sorry, I'm kind of tired, so if I'm like scattered, forgive me. But I put the link for joining launch team below this video. So if you're interested in being on a launch team and getting the next book in the series before anybody else does, and if you're interested in providing a review, please jump onto the list. I would love to have you. I'm just so excited. And so you guys will be getting that beta reader copy of Hollow Point on July 10th. So that is when I'll be sending that out to you guys, and you guys can feel free to read it, review it, or whatever. And I'll be sending it out in multiple formats: EPUB, MOBI, PDF, so that whatever device you're on, you can read it and give feedback, and then be prepared to drop a review. So that's going on too. And let's see, what else is happening? I've been working on marketing, world building, giveaways, writing my novels. What else? Oh, so obvious elephant in the room is telling you guys what's going on with SANDMAN. So SANDMAN is still on and popping. I'm working on the script. I'm working on the outline. But I've decided actually to take this summer to do a really intense development of SANDMAN as a story and as a script, and just make sure everything is on point and get that together. So we'll be doing development and pre-production this summer, and my goal is to shoot at least a short with SANDMAN, just testing out certain elements and putting together like a promotional short that I can use when we start shooting the actual film. Ideally, we would shoot the whole film this summer. That's what I'm aiming for. But first and foremost comes the development of the story and the pre-production, the storyboarding, the previs, and the producing part. I do not want to skip on that part because if I do, the movie is just like not going to be good. We need to find a good location. We need to find good vendors. We need to find a really great crew. And we're also in the midst of raising more money. So yeah, so that's where that is. But I'll keep you guys updated on SANDMAN. It's still happening. It's still on and popping, so don't worry about that. Let's see. I was not able to do too much creative uni in April because I was still finishing up graduate school. That pretty much was my creative uni, quiet as kept, finishing up those crazy classes. But in terms of what I'm doing creatively and what I'm learning creatively now is that thus far I have taken, let me just look on my little thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So during the month of May, I've sat 6 master classes, a life mapping workshop, skyrocketing my email list workshop, Jeff Goins, 4 Critical Keys to Make a Living Writing. How to Become an Authority and Grow Your Tribe by David D. Piazza. How to Create a High Converting Webinar by Casey Zaman. How to Monetize a Small List in 12 Weeks by Joseph Michael. There was an amazing online summit that was being hosted by Teachable.com, which is an online university platform for people like myself who want to teach online courses and who want to be coaches and writing teachers, or just teachers of anything, really. But in my case, I want to obviously teach writers like different craft-based things like plotting, character design, world development, world building, and stuff like that. And Teachable often has classes to help you launch yourself out there, put yourself out there as a teacher and as someone who is developing expertise in your field. So as you guys might know, in addition to my creative endeavors, as a writer, as a filmmaker, as a marketer, I'm also running a blog called The Bohemian Badass, which is basically helping not just creatives, but specifically creative women to become the artistic creative badasses that they've always basically been meant to be. And we teach writing craft and filmmaking craft and just everything. And so a lot of what I offer on the website right now are free blog posts and tips, a podcast called the Be Badass Podcast, and then I also will be offering online courses, the first of which will be the Plot Like a Badass free 7-day challenge, which will then be followed up by the Plot Like a Badass signature course. For those of you who are having issues plotting out your story, or if you're stuck in a story that's sort of going nowhere, both of these things will help you to take your concepts and your outline and smooth it out, put some structure on it, and basically get a solid beginning, middle, and end set up for your story with a lot of really high octane, like heart-pounding action in between. So I'm developing that. I am still working on basically developing the content for that blog and for that blog business. And that is actually kind of slow going because I'm so busy. I just wish I could clone myself into 5 different people and just say, you sit down and write, you sit down and research, you sit down and take care of your adult life and your child, you sit down and take care of these 2 businesses, and then you go take care of yourself. I wish I could do that every day. I feel like I'm living 10 different lives right now. So that entire Creative Uni collection of courses has really helped to give me skills, knowledge, and perspective on how to build my business. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm actually today's going to be sort of like a rest day because I'm just like so exhausted. But I'm going to pick back up with more craft courses, specifically with Hollywood camera work, which basically I was studying the entire semester up until April. I had to take a break on that because of graduate school, but now that school is out, I'm going to pick back up where I left off in terms of learning the craft of filmmaking, staging, directing, all of those things through that amazing, very affordable online course and platform. So that's very exciting for me. And then the entire summer is pretty much going to be chock full of different opportunities and different classes and signature courses that I've been waiting to study for the whole year, but I just haven't had time to do so. And so I will keep reporting on those things to you guys as I complete those courses and take action on the action plans that those courses provide. And of course, as with all learning, I have to read a lot of scripts, a lot of novels, a lot of nonfiction books, watch a lot of movies. Because as a creative, whatever it is you're doing in this world, whether it's being a novelist or a filmmaker, you need to consume the product and the content that you want to produce, because you do need to know what's out there. You do need to find not just encouragement and inspiration, but also just practical skills by being exposed to other people's work. So there's a lot of education happening this summer in addition to me doing a lot of things. Back to writing really quickly, because I forgot to mention that I'm not only working on Hollow Point, although that is my main focus up until July. I'm also, yes, very much working towards getting the first draft, at least, of the Hitmen of Happily Ever After first novel done, Rose and John Doe's. So I'm committed to doing those two things plus the SANDMAN script this summer. That's sort of where my writing focus and creation focus is going to be this summer. And then if I can fit anything else in there, like maybe a novella for the Hitmen of Happily Ever After series, and I'll fit that in. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Yes, and I am crazy. Yes, I don't sleep that much, but I'm working on it. Let me see. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I don't think there's anything else major that's happening. I mean, there's some cross promos that I'm a part of that I'm not heading up, but that I'm a part of that are also helping to develop my email list, and so that's pretty exciting. Let's see. Developing my brands. Oh, one sort of last thing that I want to mention, in addition to everything else, of course, that I'm doing, the novels, New Adult Noir, the Bohemian Badass, like my author brand. I am this summer for sure officially turning this vlog series into a podcast series. Now, I'm still going to keep vlogging, absolutely. But I will also be ripping the audio from these vlogs and turning them into a podcast. And the podcast right now is called Kobe's Quest, the epic journey of a black female sci-fi writer. I think that's what it's going to be called, pretty much. I definitely know it's going to be called The Epic Journey of a Black Female Sci-Fi Writer. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of cute title in the beginning of it. I just sort of want to track my my progress and my achievements and all of that, and just see sort of where I can go from where I am right now, and be able to look back in the future on sort of where I've been and what my mindset was, what my hustle was. Thus far, though, aside from initiating that podcast this summer, I am really, really happy where things are in terms of my very slowly / quickly growing career. I mean, I say that sort of tentatively, but just the idea of having a really ravenous, excited email list who is excited about my work is a major, major step towards creating an independent life based on my work as a novelist, potentially as a filmmaker, and also as a creative entrepreneur working at the Bohemian Badass. So just finding a way to sort of build and cultivate and just sort of nurture this media empire that I'm trying to build. Things are going really well, and they're going pretty much as planned thus far. Even when things sort of get off the rails occasionally, it's always in a good way. Somehow, just by the grace of God or the heavens, I'm able to find my way back to my path, or turn any sort of tangent into something that is spiritually, creatively, and intellectually fruitful for me and for my business. And so that has been a really great blessing. And so that's going to be another part of my meditation today after I get off with you guys, is just sort of thinking about how to hustle, and also kind of sitting in my gratitude for the rest of the day while I'm also taking a nap because I need to do that. There was one last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Yes, so things that I'm doing, just to update you sort of on the graduate school thing, because I feel like this is a reflection that has been long overdue. So I realized that and I think that this is totally fine, but I am not a proper, or a how do you say? I'm not like I'm not like a straight dramaturg. I'm just not. I'm not a dramaturg, and that was sort of hard admitting that to my committee, being that this is a program specifically to cultivate generative dramaturgs. But just because you identify as something different, like for me, I'm a novelist and I'm a filmmaker. That's just what I am. and a business owner slash vampire builder. That's just what I do. I'm trying to get this little tuft of hair under here, and it's just like not working. Anyway, so I'm those things. I'm not like a hardcore dramaturg, and I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that identity. But I do find my time in the program to be fruitful in many other ways, in terms of developing my analytical skills and looking at theater works and stage plays, scripts and novels from a sort of dramaturgical lens, from a historical and classical lens, as well as a contemporary lens. Those skills have definitely been developed and honed this semester, and I sort of made a discovery about myself and about where I would like my body of work to go at some point. I really realized that I am super into adaptation. At first I came in here like excited about Shakespeare, and then I got like not excited about it because I felt like academia is just like too overwhelming at times, and it kind of sometimes just the structure of academia and what we have to do as academics to me feels very suffocating to my artistic side, so I sort of got turned off. But then towards the end of the semester, as I started to delve deeply into two particular works of Shakespeare, Othello and Titus Andronicus, and I started to look at language, imagery, how things are, how the world of a play is built through dialogue and through animal imagery, through color imagery. I was really just struck by the insights that I had doing that analysis, and I was really interested in understanding how these works would look in a contemporary, specifically science fiction context. So there is definitely an adaptation series brewing on my project slate, in terms of developing a Shakespearean adaptation, or rather developing an adaptation of Shakespearean works. And I'm thinking about doing this not so much in a novel series format, but I actually think I want to do Shakespearean adaptations in film. And I mean like Akira Kurosawa level Shakespearean adaptations, where he took, for example, Macbeth and took the story, but definitely put a cultural lens, a cinematic lens, sort of a prosaic storyteller lens on it that was very uniquely his own style, that was entrenched in his culture and in the history of his culture, and that used certain aspects, the political and social hierarchies of his culture, as a Japanese man, and used those aspects to bring something different to the table. So basically, the only thing that to me was unifying about Akira Kurosawa's work and Shakespeare's work is the premise, which is, that a dude basically he murders his king at the behest of his wife, and then is driven insane by his own lust for power, glory, and his own desire to keep that power. And is also driven mad by his own paranoia because he feels like his power is going to be taken away from him. And so that's the unifying feature that connects Shakespeare's Macbeth and Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood. But I was struck so much by how he did his adaptation, and then also by my own in-depth analysis through my final paper of how Shakespeare, from my view, tries to develop agency for Othello and Aaron in both the works Othello and Titus Andronicus. And just sort of diving into that really helped me to discover a hidden passion for adaptation, and helped me to discover yet another intellectual property that I would like to develop based on Shakespeare's past works. So that has been very educational for me, and so that's made things a lot more exciting. In terms of what's happening next semester, not only do I have that new knowledge under my belt and I rocked out this semester, but next semester is going to totally rock so hard. I'm actually working on the Addams Family musical, which is going to be very interesting. It's sort of like a goth horror musical thing, which is like totally up my alley, but it's just like, and it's going to be an interesting thing to dramaturg and to get involved with. So I'm excited about that. That's coming. Then I'm also taking Russian, which is going to be so exciting. It's going to be language number 8. Language number 8, I think. And that's not me bragging, but like, I just maybe it is me bragging. I don't know, but I'm excited. I love languages. If anybody who's listening to this knows me, I've always been interested in being a polyglot because I originally wanted to be an ambassador and a translator at the United Nations. That changed really quickly, but my love for languages never died. And so I've since then become a collector and student of languages, and I really enjoy being able to communicate with people across the world. I like the idea that I can be dropped in pretty much any country and not only survive but thrive and be able to connect with people and talk with people. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm a little rusty because obviously I'm in America. Using my language skills can be kind of difficult, being that most of us speak only English because we're Americans and we're obnoxious. But I do get some. I do get the opportunity to communicate with different people at certain times in different languages, and I'm excited to pick Russian up for the next 2 years. It's also very helpful to have languages under your belt as a writer, as a dramaturg, because I can do translations, and then also as a sci-fi and fantasy writer, especially if you're super into world building and if you are super into creating languages. And I've actually created a language for a race called the Mesha, which is a race in my Books of Ezekiel series, if you guys have read it. And you'll be hearing a lot more Meshnai later in the series when we get to meet more Mesha head on. So having languages under my belt made language creation literally 1,000 times easier because I have examples that I can use and that I can base my language off of and then sort of evolve from there. Anyway, so I'm taking Russian this semester. I'm also taking combat for the stage, which is going to be so exciting, and I'm going to get certified as like a actor combatant, which is crazy. It's like, how? It's just so exciting. I'm just so amped. I'm also going to be doing an editing fundamentals course, and all of these have to be sort of dialed up from undergraduate level to graduate level. So I have to present graduate level projects for each of these. In order for me to get credit, and that's totally fine. I'm super excited because I really, really love film editing. I feel like it makes you a better writer, storyteller, and a better director. So I'm excited for that education this semester. I am also taking the dramaturg and the classic play, and obviously I will probably be doing more Shakespeare, specifically the bloody Shakespeares. Not that I don't enjoy the comedies, but I love the tragedies. Like Macbeth, my fave. Actually, Titus Andronicus is like actually on my list as number 1 favorite right now. Othello, also one of my favorites. I actually kind of enjoy Merchant of Venice, although technically it's a comedy. I don't see it as a comedy. I think that shit is tragic as fuck, but whatever. Fight me, okay? We'll talk about Shakespeare later, but that might also be another play that I would like to adapt into a film at some point in the future. So dramaturg and the classic play. And then what else am I taking? There is a 4th class that I'm taking this semester. Contemporary trends in dramaturgy, which is going to be super freaking awesome because we're actually learning about dramaturgy in film. So we're going to look at storyboarding. We're going to look at dramaturgy in game and game design. So it's possible that I might be able to put together an app or a game that will lead into the spring semester where we're going to be putting on our own immersive theater production, and that's going to be amazing. And then we're learning about immersive theater. So those are going to be the 3 major chunks of our learning in contemporary trends. And so I'm just really excited. I'm glad that I stuck the year out. And because it was a really rough year for me. I'm not, as you guys know, I left academia once because I wanted to do more artistic stuff and just make things. And then when I got to this program, the first year, as you guys know, was all about getting the core requirements and the core foundation out of the way, which meant that we were doing a lot of theoretical academic stuff, writing papers. And so Not that I can't write papers, but I just felt very disconnected from a lot of my work this year, even though I was learning a whole lot and I felt like I was growing a whole lot. But now that most of that is out of the way, it is time to make stuff, and I'm just excited. I'm ready to just take this program by the horns and just kick ass. And I'm excited. I have my whole plan set up for the next 2 years, and so things are going really, really well, and I'm really excited, and yeah. And then on top of that, just to sort of close this out, because I'm exhausted and it's going on 45 minutes as usual, self-care. So more sleep, more exercise, healthier eating, although that fell off in the past 2 weeks because I haven't been able to do many of those things due to my condition, my recuperation status. But as of mid-June, I'll be able to start hitting, not the gym, but my own personal gym here at home, more hardcore after I get the go-ahead. And so that's going to be pretty exciting. So this summer is filled with a lot of exciting stuff, and I'm just amped. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'm going to go take a nap, and and so I don't collapse. And that's it. I don't want to ramble. So I will see you guys hopefully this time or earlier next week. And I'm sorry I've been away, but I will be back. It's summertime. It's great. It's hot outside, but I'm inside and I'm chilling, quite literally. So, all right, I'll see you guys soon. And don't forget to sign up for those awesome giveaways. And don't forget to check out the Hollow Point VIP Beta Reader launch team. That's a long name. Join the launch team is basically what I'm trying to say, if you're interested in getting an advanced copy of Hollow Point. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Stay badass and stay indie. Peace.